Good evening. So ladies and gentlemen, before I start my presentation, let me draw your attention to a conversation took place between myself and a CFO of a company. So I happen to ask, do you have any CSR, do you have any environmental management programs in your organization? And the answer I got was, yes, we do. We do have some CSR projects in our organization. Then I asked, what sort of practices are they? Then the CFO told me, yes, I'm not sure. I have to check with the CSR division. This actually highlights me three things. Firstly, these projects are considered as CSR projects. Secondly, these projects are independent, they are isolated, and they are detached from the business strategy of an organization. Thirdly, the accountants are not aware of these projects. I know that you are from different backgrounds. You represent the manufacturing sector, the service sector, and you represent the public sector, you represent the private sector, and also you are from banking, insurance, audit, and different sectors. And also sometimes you are from different, you are having different backgrounds. Especially you are from accounting, you are from engineering, you are from social sciences. So irrespective of our background, irrespective of our organization, the environmental considerations are important. For all of us, the cost of energy or the cost of electricity is important. Then all of us, the cost of water is important. And similarly, the cost of material or cost of paper is important. Therefore, irrespective of our organization and irrespective of the industry, these environmental costs are important, because when we consume this or when we utilize this, always there is an environmental impact, directly or indirectly. Therefore, in my presentation, I'll be discussing about environmental management accounting, then the development stages of the environmental strategy of an organization, then how environmental management accounting is linked with sustainability management accounting, and finally, a pathway for the future professions. So moving on, environmental management accounting lacks a clear definition because it's an evolving field and it's an emerging field. However, we all agree that it has emerged as the interface between environmental management and the management accounting of an organization. So it links the environmental strategy and your management reporting. And more specifically, if I have to look at the definition of environmental management accounting, it is the collection, it is the identification, the collection, the use and the analysis of physical information as well as monetary information. So that this gives rise to two types of environmental management accounting systems, that is physical environmental management accounting and monetary environmental management accounting. So in physical environmental management accounting, we express management accounting in terms of kilograms, liters, units, etc. At the same time, when it comes to monetary environmental management accounting, we express in terms of financial value, rupees and cents. And if I want to put this into a practical perspective, in your organization, if you want to introduce or if you want to have a solar panel system, you might do an initial analysis. You might calculate the payback, and thereafter when you install this on a daily basis, you might calculate the energy generated by this solar panel system. Now this is where you identify the physical environmental management accounting, because you express this in terms of physical units, electricity units. And at the end of the month, you will calculate the amount of electricity cost saved. Now that is where you assign a financial value for this management accounting, and that becomes monetary environmental management accounting. So in this way, we can look at three dimensions of environmental management accounting. It will provide you past, present and future information. At the same time, it will provide you short-term and the long-term information, and that will provide you ad hoc and the routine information. So by incorporating these different dimensions, we can identify a comprehensive framework for environmental management accounting. And if I take the same example which I explained to you earlier, that is the monitoring of the solar meter on a daily basis. that actually provides you physical environmental management accounting information, which is past oriented, and that is routing information. And also if you calculate the payback or the investment appraisal, that is monetary environmental management accounting information, which is ad hoc, and that is future oriented. So likewise, environmental management accounting encompasses different accounting principles. Therefore, we need to understand that environmental management accounting is not another environmental management tool among others. It is an accounting practice which will support to environmental strategy. And this environmental management accounting will represent different accounting practices. Practices such as accounting for water, accounting for material, and to some other advanced practices such as accounting for environmental activity-based costing, material flow cost accounting, and then sustainability balance scorecard. Also, when you follow these practices, you get many benefits. Now, these benefits are numerous, but they can be divided into three main categories. You can ensure that you comply with the regulations, or you can comply with internally generated standards. Also, there is always competitive advantage which you can generate through these practices. And also, when you follow these practices, you can save energy, you can save the cost of water, and you can save the cost of material. Therefore, these environmental management account or these practices are not CSR. There is always a business case for sustainability. And the researchers have identified the adoption of environmental management accounting is not systematic, it's not comprehensive. And also, especially in the Sri Lankan context, this environmental management accounting practices will represent responses to various external and internal factors. And these factors may include the top level pressure, the cost focus, and sometimes the regulatory compliance. Then we need to understand that environmental strategy of an organization does not develop overnight. It is evolving, it is evolutionary. Therefore, when we look at the environmental strategy development stages, you can place where your organization can be fitting. So it is compliance, the initial stage, then the conservation stage, then the integration stage. The organizations in the compliance stage, you look at key few items that will be important for you. It can be energy, it can be water. In order to support these practices, you might get the help of few stakeholders, especially your employees. And to support these practices, support these environmental practices, you might develop few environmental management accounting practices, such as accounting for water, accounting for energy. And thereafter, when you follow these practices, you realize there is a real saving. You can save cost. And this is where you become a good earth citizen. And encouraged by these practices, encouraged by these savings, you might embrace the other practices, other environmental items. It may range from energy and even to biodiversity. So when you follow these practices, you will be propelled into the third stage, the integration stage. Now this is where the environmental considerations become a part of your daily decision making process. So it is a part of your business strategy. It is a part of your long-term sustainable business strategy. And to successfully implement these practices, you will get the support of many key stakeholders. Employees, the suppliers, then your customers, and also you might get the support of your community as well as the competitors. In order to support these practices, you might develop an array of accounting practices. So that we can see from compliance to integration, it's a successful drift with a clear vision of your organization. And if I am to look at what is sustainability management accounting, or how you can move from environmental management accounting to sustainability management accounting, now this is where you incorporate social dimension into environmental management accounting system. Then you will have the three pillars of sustainability: profit, tenant, and people. And also I should tell you that social side of sustainability is the least developed, and when you try to account for that, it's challenging because it's qualitative and it is intangible, and there is lack of agreement as to what these measures represent. However, when it comes to sustainability management accounting, you need to focus on these three key pillars, that is profit, planet and people. And also if I am to look at very briefly the pathway for the professions. As I told you, we represent a cross section of different professions. So that irrespective of our profession, the sustainability accounting or sustainability education should be incorporated into the curricula of universities, then the professional accounting bodies or various other professional institutes. Now, realizing this importance, at the Department of Accounting we introduced a full course on sustainability management accounting, and also we have introduced certain aspects of sustainability reporting in various course units. And our next agenda item, that is the launch of Accounting Panorama, is actually the work done by our students, those who follow different course units. Now in sustainability accounting, sustainability education, you need to develop wide set of skills. Engineering, accounting, social sciences, management, physical sciences, then again architecture. So this actually calls for a transdisciplinary approach for sustainability education. Simply, accountants should know of engineering and the engineers should know of accounting. So if you can take actions as professionals, I'm sure that one day we can turn back and say, look, in our own professions, we have made a difference to this world. We have made a difference to the world we live in. So ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by saying that sustainability is a challenge. It's a challenge for organizations and it's a challenge for their professions. But at the same time, it offers an opportunity. And moreover, sustainability is a journey with a lot of adventure. Thank you.